Open book Harlecrim. Open book Harlecrim, the Scythe of Madness. Open book Harlecrim, the Scythe of Madness. A Combat Warrior's Mythos Chronicle. Prologue, The Last Laugh. The spotlight fades, the curtain falls, but the laughter never dies. Long ago, before the fields of combat warriors were soaked in steel and vengeance, there existed a stage. A stage lost to time, where performers danced to the whims of kings and crowds alike. It was upon this stage that he was born, not of flesh, but of purpose. His name, forgotten by all who once knew him. Now, only the echo remains. He was the jester, the harlequin of the hollow court. Laughter was his weapon, joy his illusion. But behind the painted smile hid a soul shattered by betrayal. On the night of the Crimson Masquerade, his troupe performed their final act. The crowd roared. Not in joy, but in bloodlust. The court had turned. Steel met flesh, and laughter turned to screams. All fell, save one. Something inside him snapped. With blood on his bells and sorrow on his breath, the jester vanished into the shadows, his soul claimed by the Scythe of Madness. Harlecrim was born anew. They say he now wanders the battlefields of the digital realm, laughing beneath his blindfold, seeking a finale worthy of the massacre that birthed him. And when you hear that bell, it's already too late. Chapter 1, Echoes on the Server. The server was quiet at first, unusual for a combat warrior's arena. No screaming kill feeds. No clash of steel. Just silence. It was a public lobby like any other, where players loaded in to test their might, chase bounties, or flex mastery over their chosen weapons. But something about this one felt off. The sky was darker than usual. The usual background music glitched into a low, droning hum. And somewhere near spawn, the air shimmered like a heat wave. Then came the laugh. Not typed in chat. Not through VC. It was in the game. Glitched. Twisted. Like a voice echoing from inside an old, broken jukebox. One player froze mid-run. Another tried to type WTF was that? But their chat box corrupted before the message sent. Then the first victim fell. No one saw where the attack came from. A blur, a ripple in the air. A player's avatar twisted unnaturally before shattering into a burst of black and white confetti, their body ragdolled with comical elegance. The kill feed didn't say a name. It just read. Skull and Crossbones, you have been ENCOR8 Skull and Crossbones. The others scattered. Some tried to log out. They couldn't. Then he appeared. Tall. Towering. Twisted in monochrome. His outfit looked like it was pulled from the depths of a glitched UGC archive, a corrupted jester's skin that the catalog itself had forgotten. His scythe, massive and double-bladed, dragged against the floor with a sound like laughter made of rust. A blindfold of shadows covered his eyes. But his smile. That was the only thing in perfect HD. He moved without animation. Teleporting in jittery skips, leaving behind ghostly afterimages of himself laughing. Every swing of his scythe left trails of black particles and glitch static. Every kill reset the music to a new, broken circus tune. He didn't farm kills. He performed. And every time a player fell, his haunting voice rang out in distorted chat. Another round of applause for the fallen. Chapter 2, The Trap and the Hunter. The server was locked. Not by the devs. Not by players. But by him. Harlecrim's presence infected the lobby like a virus. Every few minutes, another player would fall, sliced in half mid-emote, flung into the sky in a frozen death animation, or glitched permanently in a laughing pose. the map itself had changed. The sky dimmed to grayscale. The grass lost color. And somewhere on the cliff's edge, a jester's stage had appeared, built from bones and code. But even in fear, some dared to fight back. A group of elite players, known in the community for killstreaks and leaderboard domination, banded together. They formed a plan. They called themselves the Chain Gang, named for their main weapon of choice and their belief that no myth could withstand a good old group gank. Armed with flame swords, chains, and potions, they set a trap near spawn with C4, bear traps, and oil barrels. "We got this," one typed. "It's just a script." Another added, "We kill him, he leaves." Simple. Harlecrim didn't attack immediately. He watched. From the edge of the map, just outside rendering range, he stood still, motionless except for the flickering glint of his scythe. One by one, the group got uneasy. Lag spikes hit, even for those on high-end rigs. Audio cut. Ping spiked. Then came the footsteps. Clunk. Clunk. Clunk clunk. CL clunk. They weren't normal. They echoed backward, like time stuttering. The Chain Gang readied their weapons. One screamed in VC, "Giogogo." The ambush was executed flawlessly. The trap exploded. But it didn't kill him. From the smoke, laughter erupted, real, echoing, broken. Harlecrim stepped forward, his model completely unharmed. The map glitched. Players were thrown backward as if hit by an unseen force. Their health bars froze at 1, then drained to 0 without cause. But then... Log code 141, unauthorized anomaly engaged. The kill feed flashed. Cross-swordsmith Hunter Nox joined the game. The battlefield froze, just for a moment. Harlecrim stopped laughing. Nox appeared near the bell tower, cloaked in obsidian armor with golden myth runes glowing across his shoulders. In his hands, a relic blade formed from ancient report data and broken admin commands. After erupted, real, echoing, broken. Harlecrim stepped forward, his model completely unharmed. The map glitched. Players were thrown backward as if hit by an unseen force. The players didn't know him, but the myths did. Nox wasn't a player. He was a myth hunter, a rare breed tasked with hunting down corrupted entities, glitched warriors, and beings like Harlecrim. He spoke only once in chat. "You've had your encore, Harlecrim. The show is over." But Harlecrim only tilted his head. The smile grew wider. And for the first time, the jester typed something back. "Then let us take our final bow, together." Chapter 4, The Truth Behind the Curtain. The velvet curtain shivered. The audience, spectators still trapped in forced view, could only watch as the stage was swallowed by shadow. Nox stood still, golden blade raised, but even he couldn't move. His system HUD was gone. No hotkeys. No health bar. Just the sound of ticking, and laughter. Harlecrim stood in the spotlight, arms spread wide, grinning beneath his blindfold. Then, for the first time, he spoke. Not chat. Not emote. Voice. Real. Distorted. Multiplied. "You want to know why I cannot be slain?" His voice echoed like it came from the bones of the game itself. Each word bent the air, distorting the particles around him. "Why your traps fail. Your bans break. Your resets rewind." He stepped toward Nox, the scythe dragging behind him like a puppet string. His jester bells rang in reverse. "It is because I was never coded." Nox flinched. "I am not a bug. Not a skin. Not a corrupted player or cursed admin." Harlecrim raised his arms, and across the velvet sky above them, images flashed, broken command lines, devlogs, loading screens that had never been seen. I was written into the memory of the game, before its first line of code was typed. I was the placeholder, the forgotten joke left in the devs' dreams, never meant to exist, but remembered by the engine itself. The spotlight widened. Around them, giant puppet strings dropped from the sky, each one connected to the spectators who suddenly appeared as avatars in the seats, paralyzed, watching. You think this game belongs to players? To devs? To myth hunters? To ban lists? Harlecrim's smile widened until it nearly tore across his face. But the game remembers what you don't. It remembers me. He turned to the crowd. I am not part of the code. I am the part they tried to delete and failed. With a snap of his fingers, a massive system window appeared in the sky. PGSQL. Copy edit. Error, entity_Harlecrim, removal failed. Reason, object not found in codebase. Trace source, unknown. Access level, denied. The audience gasped. Even Nox took a step back. You can't ban a ghost, Nox. You can't trap a laugh that never stopped echoing. He raised his scythe, and the stage around them began to unravel, code breaking apart into white and black ribbons that danced like shadows. And as long as this game remembers pain, I will always come back to finish the act. Chapter 5, The One Who Knows. The server began to collapse. The stage fractured. Spectator view snapped, flinging players into first person as the sky spiraled into a corrupted vortex. The velvet curtain peeled back, revealing not the map, but a void. A place between servers. Harlecrim's domain. Nox stood at the edge, 1 foot from falling into the nothingness below. His blade flickered in his hand, growing dimmer by the second. His voice returned in chat. He's not a myth. He's a memory. Harlecrim hovered above the chaos, laughing in a voice layered with echoes of every scream that had ever echoed in the arena. You fought well, Hunter. Truly. But all stories end. Even yours. He raised his scythe for the final strike. But then, everything froze. The laughter stopped. The void went silent. Harlecrim blinked mid-air, twisting slightly as if sensing something. No. He's not supposed to be here. The sky changed. Not to daylight, but to pure white. A figure appeared blinding and still, standing just outside visual range. Their form was blurred, unfinished. No visible name. No tag. Not even the dev tools could lock on. Even Harlecrim flinched. For the first time, he backed away. The archivist. Nox gasped. He knew the name. The archivist was a myth whispered about in abandoned lobbies and erased test servers. A player who had never appeared in any kill feed. One who didn't speak. One who watched. An enigma even the myth hunters feared. You shouldn't be here, Harlecrim growled, for once without a smile. I've burned your logs. Shattered your binds. I erased your room. But the archivist raised a single hand. And the void responded. Suddenly, Harlecrim was pulled downward, strings snapping one by one, his scythe dropping from his grip. His laughter turned to screaming static. System alert, myth_entity, Harlecrim, locked in liminal. The stage folded in on itself. The scythe vanished into the darkness. And Harlecrim was gone. Aftermath. The map returned. Nox collapsed to one knee, sword flickering with broken light. Around him, players began to respawn, confused, disoriented. The arena was normal again. But in the corner of the chat, only one message remained. This myth cannot be deleted. Only paused. Unknown. The figure never appeared again. No one could recall their face. But in the secret vaults of the myth hunters, the name was marked. Myth000 / the archivist. Role, Watcher. Status, unknown. Chapter 6, Before the Curtain. There are lobbies no one talks about. Old ones. From early testing days. Pre-alpha builds. Hidden under debug folders and discarded test maps. One of them was called /map_dev_jester.v1. It was never meant to go live. And yet, one player swore he spawned there. His name? Scythe. He was just another ranked grinder, nothing special. Low ping, decent K/D, always chasing a better title. But one night, during a strange patch where players reported spooky spawns and weird background audio, Scythe loaded into a match, and found himself alone. No scoreboard. No health bar. No map name. Just a silent arena under a deep red moon. And a single message in chat. Stay and laugh, or leave and forget. Scythe assumed it was a prank. Some weird admin joke or hidden myth server. He explored for a few minutes, recording footage that never saved. Then he saw him. A figure, sitting at the edge of the map, alone in the audience stands. Not glitching. Not armed. Just, crying. Scythe approached. The figure had no weapon. No name. Just a pale face, black eyes, and a broken jester mask sitting beside him. Not wearing it, just holding it. His clothes were plain, old. Not a myth. Not yet. Scythe spoke in chat. Yo, you good? The figure looked up. He typed one thing back. They never let me finish the show. Scythe watched as the player slowly stood. His form twitched, but not like a glitch. Like a puppet struggling to move. I wrote this map. I begged them to let it stay. It was funny once. Beautiful, even. But they laughed at me. Not with me. Scythe was unsettled. The map began to change. The color drained. The music grew warped. The jester mask at the figure's feet started shaking. Then, Scythe's chat froze. One last line appeared, typed not by him, not by the other player, but by the map itself. From the stage you cast me out, now from the stage I'll take you all. Scythe was forced disconnected. He never found that map again. His combat warrior's UI glitched for weeks afterward. His friends said his avatar's face would randomly change in lobbies into a wide, broken grin. And when Harlecrim first appeared as a myth? Scythe recognized the mask. End of Chapter 6. Chapter 7, The Mirror That Cracked. The liminal is not a place. It's a feeling. Every player has touched it at least once, those few seconds between death and respawn. That flicker where the world goes gray, sound fades, and for a moment, you don't exist. Harlecrim was trapped there now. But unlike the others, he could still feel everything. He floated in a space with no floor. No ceiling. Only fragments, broken swords, death messages, old update logs. All drifting like ash in a digital wind. He couldn't laugh here. Not yet. But the silence gave him something worse, clarity. You remember now, don't you? The map. The stage. The night you begged them not to delete it. The voice came from nowhere and everywhere. Familiar. Soft. Like the dev who first typed his name into a test folder. Harlecrim clutched his head. Don't, show me this. But he couldn't stop it. A window appeared in the void. A floating rectangle of light, flickering like an old CRT screen. Inside, a younger version of himself. No scythe. No mask. Just a happy player laughing as he built something with command blocks. A little theater. A fun idea. Harlecrim's Arena, coming soon.
He had even made his own boss fight, a silly little minigame where he played the jester, and friends tried to dodge confetti bombs and win his silly badge.
Nothing scary. Just fun. Just his. Then came the update. The one that wiped and used maps.
His friends never even noticed.
They moved on. He stayed. They didn't forget you, Harlecrim. They never knew you were real.
He stared at the screen as the old version of him sat alone in that dark, unfinished lobby.
No badge. No players. Just silence. That's when he felt it again. The laughter. But it wasn't happy this time. It was his, yes, but cracked. Stretched. Warped by years of silence.
A sound that shouldn't still exist. Who first typed his name into a test folder?
Harlecrim looked down.
And in the reflection of the CRT screen, he didn't see his younger self anymore.
He saw himself now blindfolded, grinning, holding curtain fall once more.
They tried to delete the stage. So I turned the whole game into one. The void began to pulse with red light. The liminal was weakening.
Chains glitched. The lock that sealed him trembled.
From somewhere in the Combat Warriors server list, a new custom match was forming.
/curtain_rehearsal_v2.
And deep within it, players were joining.
Unaware. Unready. Encore. Encore. Chapter 8, The Forgotten Memory, Part 1. It began with laughter. Real laughter. Joyful. The kind that comes from a game played with friends who actually cared. He was just Arlo back then. No mask. No madness. Just a builder, a roleplayer, a kid with a dream in the early days of Combat Warriors map editor. He built arenas not for death, but for performance. Stages. Props. A working spotlight. Let me put on a show, he told the devs in a forum post. One where fighting is just the act, and the crowd gets to watch it all unfold. They never responded. But he kept building. He made an arena unlike anything else, with textures over marble, red velvet floor tiles, trapdoors that triggered random stage props. He called it Curtain Fall Arena. He hosted it for friends. And they loved it for about a week. Then the updates came. Bigger maps. More weapons. New game modes. The meta changed. The player base changed. And slowly, they stopped joining his lobbies. The memory shifts. He's standing alone in the theater he built. The lights still work. The puppets still swing from the ceiling. The crowd seats are empty. His username flashes in the corner. @ArloJest. The chat is quiet. Then, a system message appears. Map file flagged, unplayed, queued for removal. He stares at it. A chill crawls down his spine. He types to no one. Wait. Don't delete it. I'll update it. I'll make it better. But no one's there to read it. He works for days. No sleep. Updating scripts. Rewriting lines. Making it perfect. And finally, one last night, he logs in, ready to publish curtainfall_v 1.1. But the file is gone. Deleted. Without warning. Chapter 9, The Forgotten Memory, Part 2. Something broke. That night, Arlo opened Roblox Studio and just stared. Not at a map. At the error message. Asset not found. Stage_disabled. He didn't cry. He didn't scream. He just sat in the dark,
a blinking cursor flickering in his eyes. And then, slowly, he rewrote the map.
Not from a file. From memory. He renamed the map.
He removed the crowd seats. The props turned into hanging cages.
The red velvet became blood-colored stone.
The curtain was coded to never open, just glitch in place.
The jester NPC in the center? It didn't juggle anymore. It held a scythe.
Arlo renamed himself. He deleted every past save. Then he gave the jester a new name in the map script.
Harlecrim. Entity_type, memory. Function, reap. AI_level, unstoppable. Ban_immune, true. Laughter loop, on. And when he hit play, something in the game cracked. A tremor across servers. A data ping spike. Some say it was just lag. But that night, a new myth appeared in a random 6-player lobby. No health bar. No loadout. No tag.
Just a silent player in black and red, dragging his scythe behind him and glitching through the air. Harlecrim had arrived. And no one, not even the game, remembered how.
Chapter 10, The Forgotten Memory, Curtain Fall. It was a hidden folder. Buried deep. No one should have found it.
But Vale, one of the last myth hunters still active, had been following the trail of corrupted lobbies and deleted devlogs for weeks.
Every lead ended in static. Every ping led to empty test servers, except this one. /cw/dev_recovery/curtainfall_last_save.hidden. There was no preview. Just a warning. Status, corrupted. Do not open. He opened it anyway. The map loaded slowly. Frame by frame. Not into a match, but into a stage. The old theater. Still standing. Dusty. Crooked. Frozen in time like some forgotten wax museum exhibit.
Vale stepped forward.
No UI. No combat gear. Just a blank avatar and an empty name tag. And there he was. Harlecrim.
Sitting in the front row, alone, looking up at the blank curtain.
He didn't move. Didn't attack. Just whispered. It's about to start.
Vale stepped onto the stage.
Suddenly the lights flickered on. A spotlight hit him. Glitchy laughter filled the air.
Rows of empty seats were suddenly full, shadow avatars, audience copies, things never programmed to exist.
All watching.
The scythe floated into Harlecrim's hand.
And then he said something no one had ever heard. Do you want to know why they can't delete me?
Vale stood still.
Because I'm not a file. I'm not a myth.
I'm the memory of a story this game tried to forget.
He rose. Curtain fall trembled. They erased Arlo. But they didn't erase the pain. And pain is executable. The lights exploded. The stage warped. Strings wrapped around Vale, pulling him into the curtain. For a moment, just before it consumed him, Vale saw something. A younger version of Harlecrim. Arlo, sitting behind the curtain, alone. Crying. He didn't look evil. He looked like a kid who just wanted to be remembered. And then, disconnected from server. Reason, curtain closed. Epilogue. No one has heard from Vale since. But a new server appears sometimes. No name. No preview. Players say if you join it, there's no combat, just a spotlight. And a single voice. You came to see the show? And if you stay too long, you don't leave. You just become part of the audience. Watching the stage. Waiting for the jester to return. The end. Myth classification, Harlecrim, undeletable. The Scythe of Madness. Let the curtain fall.